Oh yeah, Metaphiles 3, folks. I am Zac Caffrey. With me as always is Jason Ford. And welcome to Metaphiles, the podcast that talks to you.
To you.
To you. This week, all hour. Keen-eyed viewers of our previous two episodes may have noticed that between episode 1 and 2, you got a haircut.
That's right.
Now between episodes 2 and now, I got one.
That's right.
And that is why this week, all hour, we're talking haircuts.
Haircuts.
And I sure do hope that we can get through this entire hour without either of us being slapped in the face.
It's a sensitive topic.
It is, and I think we recognize that we are two white dudes, and nobody wants to hear what we have to say about it, so they won't.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Please don't slap us.
Please.
I don't like it.
Some people like it.
That's true, and that is their prerogative.
Deviant.
I suppose if they like being slapped, they probably would also like being called deviants. So maybe you're doing them a favor.
It's best to just leave them alone. You're right.
But they might also like that too. Maybe it's like a abandonment fetish.
Yeah.
Where they just will be at home all day and they're like, well, nobody came to see me. I'm turned on now.
They just get in a car and drive away from any population.
Yeah.
The further away they get.
Yeah. Out into the woods. The hottest location on earth.
Then they're out there in the woods and wild animals don't want to fuck with them.
No.
Maximum neglect.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they have food.
What a dream.
For them, sure. Yeah, it must be great.
Yeah. For me, it's all the way in public or nothing. I'm just a regular guy. You know?
In public?
Sure, just in the middle of a crowded stadium.
The duality of man over here.
I suppose I would consider myself just your average Joe.
I don't think that's very average.
Hmm.
It's a pretty private act for most people.
Gross. Hey, let's move on to haircuts.
That's right.
The most exciting topic so far.
Yeah. So hold on. What was our first segment gonna be? We splice them out.
Oh, for sure. This will be a little peek behind the curtain for people. Normally we do this. Well, I guess we do it on mic too. I think for this one, let's just talk about our haircuts, both present and past and future.
Sure. Okay.
What do you think of this one you got right now?
It's good. I don't ask much of my barber. I get a haircut and I let it grow out for about 2 years, and then I get a haircut again. And it's just I want the basic hair. I don't put anything in my hair. I don't even brush it. I never have. And so I just let it go.
Do you really not brush it?
Nope. I do this.
The old finger brush. Yeah, I give it one more. There you go.
And that's all I need to do to look good.
Mm-hmm.
But then it'll grow out after about 2 years, and I'll do this. I'll push it all back.
Yeah. I like it when you get to that point where you kind of got the Kurt Russell Snake Plissken thing going on. That is, I think, the haircut you had when I met you, and so that is like Vintage Jason.
Yeah, I had that eye patch too before I got my robotic eye.
And I had at that time I had heard you were dead.
But wasn't.
Yeah. That's for the Pliskin heads out there, of which I assume there are many.
There better be.
Yeah, I think our audience and the John Carpenter.
There's a bit. That's a big Venn diagram. Yeah.
Big crossover. Yeah.
We can work on it. We can do a T-shirt where it's a.
Here we go.
Escape from New York, Metaphiles mashup.
Here we go. Podcast is started now, boy.
Escape from New York State. So it's like metaphile out, right?
Oh,
it's metatized.
He escaped from New York City. Then he's got to escape from the whole state.
They needed a bigger prison because crime got a state's worth worse.
I got to get the fuck out of Albany.
Just like a picturesque town square instead of like downtown New York. Look at that gazebo. It's ruined. This is a prison. Once you go in, you never get out of the whole state, so it's not...
The Emperor runs the gazebos around here, pal. You stay away from that gazebo. You know what's good for you.
Instead of... what was the bad guy in the first one? A1?
He was the president, I think. Isaac Hayes. Wasn't he the president of New York?
Yeah, he was the number one. So maybe in Albany it'd be like a boomer with a boat.
Boomer with a boat.
Yeah, he'd be the crime ring leader.
Yeah.
Escape from New York State.
Played by
maybe
who's one of our better boomer actors currently.
Do we know any actors with gray hair? Just any of them?
Robert De Niro, gray hair. Al Pacino, gray hair, died.
He
though,
dies.
I think. Yeah,
he dies.
but we all know.
No, it has to be. They got to be rocking the gray. They can't be dying it.
Okay. Hoffman. Haven't seen him in a while, by the way. Hackman, same thing. He retired though.
Yeah. I can't remember any actor's name, no matter what their color hair is right now. I don't know why.
Well, can you remember any hair colors names?
Dark hair.
Technically, yeah.
Well, I can't remember my name.
That's okay. I'm gonna steer the ship back to haircuts here.
Oh yeah.
For a moment, because I realized that I can. This was before this was even gonna be the theme of this episode, but I just happened to realize that I can name every style of haircut I've ever had in my entire life. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
We gotta prove it.
Here we go. This will prove it.
With pictures, please. With pics, please.
Picture it in your mind.
Okay.
Okay, baby, bald. Little boy haircut. Bowl cut. Flat top grows out, starts spiking it up kind of like Sid Vicious style.
It's like 1.5. You're up to 5.5.
Sure. It's not a certain number, it's just how many there were.
I don't know why I was counting them all.
You can keep counting if you want. I don't know how many the count gets to, so you should keep counting.
5.5.
Be good for me. Okay, from spiking it up, this was around middle school, goes into long hair.
Okay.
Full ponytail. Long hair goes from all through high school, all through college. End of college, for about a week as a joke, cut the long hair off into a mullet. I was walking around with a mullet for 1 week.
Okay.
That's a separate style.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
All right. Mullet week was over, shaved the whole thing off. Went down to the roots. Grows back out.
That sounds so weird. I don't want to see it like
Not
that.
like skin. I took it to a 1 on the razor. Buzz cut.
Still.
That grows out, and I'm just doing what you did. I constantly was just putting my hands through it, kind of pushing it up to the point where it turned into like a Jean-Ralphio from Parks and Recreation. Just big. It was just like big and up, like a Goku-ish.
Razorhead?
Well, not as
Jack
curly
Manson.
as him, but
Okay.
yeah, just up. It was big. And then from that, saw a little kid walking around in a grocery store one day with a mohawk. And I was like, if that little kid can do it, why not me? Went from having it all like that, shaved the sides off, Elmer's gluing it, mohawk.
You should have asked, should that kid do it?
He should have. He looked cool.
Should you have done it?
Yes, I looked cool.
Yeah. Well, that's the...
And then, so mohawk for a couple years, then got a job where having mohawk was not okay, started pomading it back, led to what we have here.
Okay, so that's 12.
12 haircuts.
No, wait, 11. Yeah.
Damn.
And a
Wish it was
half.
12. I mean, technically I've fluctuated between this and long hair, but that's not a new style. So what style am I missing? What should I do next?
Well, maybe I should have brought this to light before we did this episode, but I don't even think I know a single name for a haircut.
Oh, you're going to learn a bunch of them. And I'll bet once I say the names of them, you'll be like, yeah, I know what that is.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Because I read a list of like top 90s haircuts and top 2000s haircuts, being the eras that we could have had our haircut that way, and perhaps did. That's the other thing, is I want to find out which of these either of us have ever had.
Okay.
Mine are kind of spoiled now. Not a game. We don't have a game this week. It didn't happen.
We don't need games to have fun.
No.
I don't.
I'm having fun talking about what kind of hair I've had.
At least somebody is.
Yeah. Yeah. This podcast is for me to watch.
This is one for us.
Yeah.
Well,
that's all my haircuts to date.
When I was a young boy, I did a buzz cut pretty exclusively. I had no need for any kind of fashion. I was only concerned with utilitarian eventualities.
Yeah. What haircut would be best for the factory? That was what you were thinking about.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, I did a buzz cut. I did kind of what I do now, with not worrying about. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even do haircuts. I've never done haircuts.
Yeah. It's funny.
Hairstyles, I mean.
I was once accused by a friend of mine, lightheartedly, of being vain about not being vain. This was when I had the long hair and I would wear just like baggy pants and like oversized shirts. That was my whole thing, was just like whatever I find at Goodwill, that's what I'm doing, and I'm not worrying about my hair. I'm not worrying about anything.
That was me. We were vain about being vain.
We were. And I've shaved that off. Now I'm vain just straight ahead.
You gotta be one or the other.
Yeah. I'm looking right in that mirror. And I don't ever kiss it. But I do smile at it sometimes.
That's good. That's some good self-esteem, Val.
Yeah. So, all right. I suppose we'll come back to what haircuts we would have in the future. Because I think we might talk about what haircuts will even be in the future at some point today.
Mm-hmm. Well, this brings me back to the question, what is our layers that we're doing here for the first second?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
So
we're going to talk about our haircuts more. Congratulations, everyone. Then I think we'll talk about haircuts of the world.
Okay.
And then for the last segment, I feel like it's kind of
why
when
haircut?
in doubt, zoom out. Why haircuts? The old standby question.
When in doubt, doom out.
Yeah. Doom out.
When in doubt, doom out.
Oh, that's like if they ever made a tribute album of all the music from Metaphiles so far, but in the style of doom metal, it would be called When in Doubt, Doom Out. And Electric Wizard's playing like the piano, a version of the piano song I played for our In Memoriam segment in episode 1. We are going to need more songs probably, so we'll just work on that.
I don't know.
Because I do want tribute albums made of us in different genres.
We'll just work from the merch backwards. You know, most bands they start a band. They're like, well, we're gonna have to get merch if we're going out on the road. Just pay for gas and stuff.
But for us, it would be like, hey, I made this T-shirt that says Led Zeppelin on it. Should we start a band called Led Zeppelin and make rock music?
Yeah.
I guess we should. I mean, I got the shirt already.
That reminds me. Well, never mind.
No, go for it.
Copyright infringement.
Yeah. We working on lawsuit one to match T-shirt one?
Well, it's just one of your favorite band names is Better Metallica.
Yes. Absolutely.
So, I guess we could plug them.
Yeah.
I guess we just did.
I guess we just did, and I guess also now we have to start that band.
Mm-hmm.
So, just like I had just said about the Led Zeppelin shirts, now it's like...
Now we got 2 bands to have to make?
No, I
okay.
was imagining myself as Robert Plant, being like, guys, I made this shirt. We have to start this band now? But Better Metallica is a band name that's so good that I want to start the band.
Okay. I thought it was an existing band.
No, that's all me.
Good on you, man.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the Rust Pole
How'd
is
that feel?
alive. It felt so good. And to get it on Better Metallica, which...
It's deserving of it.
Yeah.
It's off to a good start.
Let's talk about the Rust Pole for a second. Our new...
Okay.
I would say sidekick, basically.
It's a character.
Yeah.
It's a third character.
We were sort of wrapping up, and you had said that you feel like with great power comes great responsibility, that you are the only one who is in charge of the Rust Bowl. And I want to ask you, is Heavy the head that wears the crown over its haircut? See? Do you feel that the Rust Pole...
Toolby! Okay.
Another sidekick.
Yeah, it keeps me up at night.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to destroy the legend if I just throw it out there whenever I agree with anything.
That's kind of why I want it to be under your control, because I feel like I will be throwing them out willy-nilly and you're going to be much more selective.
Probably won't be another one this episode unless it's for me, to be honest.
That's fair. I would also be thinking about that for real. I'd be like, I
do it for me?
I gave myself 2 and I didn't give Jay one yet. And then I'd be like giving you one on like one of your 9 out of 10, your rare 9 out of 10s.
Rare.
So.
Well, you got one, so congrats. And it must feel pretty great.
It genuinely did. We got another minute or two before I host this week's episode of Leia Plays. Do we have anything more to say about our own haircuts, present and past?
I think I'm going to get a haircut sooner this time instead of letting it grow so long.
Yeah.
It's annoying when it gets that long. It's annoying to take care of it. It's annoying because it gets in your face.
Yeah.
It's annoying because you're always fussing with it because you think you look like an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, you could have some shit going on over here, and everybody's laughing at you, and you go to bed at night, and the laughs just echoing around the room.
Did you see his hair? Fucking asshole.
Stop.
Jay, we're recording the podcast. Are you there?
Yeah, that's why I want to get it cut sooner this time.
I got something.
Even though it costs money.
That is such a perfect transition. How did you know?
Well, I mean, so the place I go to when I normally get a haircut is
Don't tell me.
$20.
Oh.
Well, it's called Monty's downtown in the arcade. Plug Monty's.
Plug in Monty's.
Monty's, sorry.
Okay.
It used to be $20.
Well, don't tell me how much it is now.
Okay,
Because, Jay.
It's about $30. And sometimes when I'm getting a haircut, you just don't want to talk.
These people
You just want to get through the time.
Build up.
Build up for what? For a haircut?
For big questions.
That's 20 minutes.
Nope.
Layup play is next week.
No. We're not. We'll get to layup plays in a second.
You just said
Jay.
you had 2 minutes left. I stalled for the whole, so you can't do it.
I'm pushing it. Oh, I see now. You fucking snake, Pliskin.
I don't give a fuck about your podcast.
Listen, Snake Pliskin. Listen, Pliskin. Did anybody ever say that in either of those movies? By the way, it's not sequels anymore, but Escape from LA, underrated.
No.
Underrated.
Absolutely.
Nowhere near as good as Escape from New York, but underrated. Anyway.
We're going way over.
I have not paid for a haircut, Jay, since I was 15 years old.
You were paying for haircuts at 15?
Well, no. My mommy did.
So you've never paid for a haircut?
I may have never paid for a haircut in my entire life, actually. My mommy paid for them. Then at 15, stopped cutting it. Went long, buzzed it, didn't need to pay for that. Got long again, buzzed it into a mohawk. My roommate did that. And ever since then, my roommate has been doing essentially that same mohawk cut, except now it's pomaded back. So, had you not said it, I was going to be like Lucille Bluth trying to guess what a banana costs and be like, how much is a haircut?
You would have had to set it up like this first.
I was trying, but you were...
because it's trying to push layup plays off.
I know, yeah, you were... And you know what? This is something that I created for myself.
This is your fault.
Doing what I did.
Little joke.
And let's just let the joke happen now, and this was what it was. Okay? So, here we go. It's time for layup plays. And the idea for this week for layup plays is silly shoes. And what the shoes are is they're banana peels. But as shoes.
You can't stand on those.
That's what's so silly about them. You strap them on, and you're going, whoa, 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 whoa. And those are silly shoes.
I don't think these are size 12. Whoa. Oh no, a puddle of wafers.
And they're for formal events too.
Oh yeah? Banana splits?
Pleased to meet you, Senator. My name is... Whoa!
This is a pretty good layup play. I'm not gonna lie. It's really stupid, but that made it something. Something.
Huh. It's really stupid, but that made it something.
Banana split, by the way. It's like my favorite ice cream meal. It's a meal.
Here's the thing with me and bananas.
They smell like feet. Ho!
Mine do, because I put them on fresh out of the box. I would say once every 2 years, I will be like, it's time to have a banana again.
You get halfway through, and you're
exactly.
Like,
halfway, and no thanks.
I know.
I get it.
I know. That's why banana pudding, like I mentioned, is the best way to eat a banana if you're trying to be healthy. Add in whipped cream and wafers and get your banana.
Boy, I'd love to go off on that, and maybe we will in our next segment, but for now...
All your fault, by the way. All this.
I stand by it.
Okay.
For now, it's time where I say, you want this? Let's let the skull say it, and you do the voice.
What is it?
The skull's going to say...
Oh, you're right. Rock.
we're back. Leia Playas 3, Part 2.
What?
Huh?
No, Leia Playas. We did Leia Playas.
Oh. Metafy. That's all I can think about now. I had a taste. I had a little taste, and frankly, I liked it.
It's so dumb.
But you said something that made a lot of sense to me. It's dumb, and that's why it's good, I think is what you said.
It's a thing.
You said that.
I didn't say it was good. I said it was a thing.
It's dumb,
something.
so it's a thing.
Yeah.
I think you should give yourself a Rust poll on that, and I think that's a t-shirt. It's dumb, so it's a thing.
We can get at it retroactive.
You want to just edit it in?
No, I just mentioned it. This is a segment. To start
We're
with.
going.
We're live?
This is part of it.
I said something in the previous segment of this podcast, episode 3, haircuts, that I think should have gotten a Rust poll ding, which is that.
Look, I don't want you to be self-conscious about giving yourself a ding. You know when the Rust poll wants to be dinged.
Does it speak to me?
I think it does.
Okay, well, I don't know. It was really dumb, but that means it was something. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. That puts us at 2 shirts this episode. 1 lawsuit from Metallica. So, we're in the right. In the red? Is that... No, you want to be in the black, not in the red.
You want to be in the black, yes.
Yeah.
We're in the black.
Yes. And now, we're going to talk haircuts.
Around the world.
Around the world.
From each continent.
Yeah, I did a little research. I found one from each continent.
Really?
No.
Okay.
I found a thing which there's like not really a lot to go here because I read the Wikipedia and it was like too boring to even get through. But of course we all know that there used to be the powdered wig, right? And that evidently became so popular that in 1975 Parliament created a powder tax, a hair powder tax, because people were using too much powder.
What was the powder for?
They liked it when the wigs looked really white.
Why didn't they just color them white? Why do they have to have powder? Nothing's whiter than powder in your wig, I guess?
I don't know. I will say that another thing that I found is that, and I think this maybe is where it came from, is that the Greeks and Romans of yore used to put gold dust in their hair. Powder.
That is so tryhard. That is so tryhard.
Roman tryhards. So maybe that somehow developed into British people being like, well, we'll do it white.
Just imagine somebody
Like
walking up to you with gold dust in their fucking hair. I wouldn't listen to anything they said. Or that or a mohawk.
Plus,
those two I wouldn't.
In Latin, so you wouldn't understand it.
Maybe in Greek. Greek is separate from Latin.
Not in my book. Let's not get into it. Then, of course, the Elizabethans. Okay. They really liked the forehead. Their hair was like they would try and get as much forehead as possible, which I guess is kind of
show as much forehead as possible.
Yeah, they would cut the line of their hair and get rid of like all from right here to have what I believe is known as a 5 head, which I kind of have.
Mm-hmm. No, you don't.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't think that's how it's measured.
How else would it be?
I've seen girls have small hands with 5 heads, and their hands. Wait a minute. No, wait. That is how it's measured because it was on Tinder. In her profile said, "I have a 5 head." No, and she had a picture that showed it. She was measuring it just to like put it on Tinder.
Yeah. Which way did you swipe for that?
I'm gonna leave that for her to know and for you to wonder about.
Mm-hmm. And for us to maybe one day find out when there's the Metaphile's wedding.
when you start seeing kids run through the shot
in
with
addition to
big giant foreheads.
Yeah. In addition to your 3.
God bless them.
Yeah. How are they doing, by the way?
They're making it.
That's nice.
They're making it.
I know you like to mostly kind of keep your celebrity and home life separate, so we don't have to get more into it.
Thanks.
The apparent first culture of the world to engage in the styling of hair, apart from the idea that braids have seemingly kind of always been a thing. What do you think it was?
So, we're talking civilization?
Yes.
Oh, well, it wasn't boy bands.
No, I said the first, not the best.
Oh. Who is it?
The Egyptians.
Yeah. Well, that was the obvious answer,
Yeah,
which
'cause they kinda,
relegates it immediately.
Got
so.
everything started. Hanging out with cats, styling hair, beer was them.
$5 hot and ready, so didn't get that started.
I don't know if it was pizza, but I think I bet there were things they knew how to get hot and ready within 5 minutes.
What else you got?
That wasn't enough. Well, I did look up, as I alluded to previously, I did look up a list of some of the most popular 90s and 2000s haircuts. So yeah, let's get into some some good old American haircuts, which we won't feel stupid discussing.
We'll give it a shot.
We won't. The people who wore their hair like this might look back on it.
Well, that's the goal.
Yeah. These, by the way, are men's haircuts. I stuck to men's haircuts in all my research because it's like, I don't think women want to hear us talking about their hair.
Well, also, I mean, you can't punch down. That's frowned upon. Forget it. Never mind.
You said I can't.
I mean, figuratively.
Oh.
It was a whole joke. Honestly, now it's probably ruined. It's a bit of an outrageous joke, honestly.
Boy.
It's like that fucking thing. What is that Scottish motherfucker had to talk show?
Oh, Craig Ferguson.
Yeah.
Loved Craig Ferguson. Best interviewer, in my opinion, in all of late night television ever. Because he was the only guy who he took his little cue cards with the pre-planned questions, and every time a guest sat down, he ripped them up and threw them away, and he would just go.
Oh, he ripped them up in front of everybody?
He did. Like they meant nothing to him.
So he just didn't even know what he was going to talk about.
No. And most of the time, they would just sit in silence. And it was nice. It was a nice break towards the end of the night when you're getting tired. No, he just really would like have a fucking conversation with somebody. It was great.
I guess.
Anyway.
Some people can pull that off. Other people, it's just an hour of nonsense.
Ready for some men's haircuts of the 90s and then the 2000s? And we'll discuss how many of these we had or have had either in the 90s and 2000s or otherwise. Okay. And we'll go through them, fairly quickly. The curtain cut.
Kurt Cobain?
Sure. Eric from Boy Meets World. And Sean from Boy Meets World. Kind of all the characters in Boy Meets World.
Boy Meets Curtains.
And he did. He died. That's not true.
Okay. No, he's got this whole thing going on with Michael Jackson.
What?
A whole other...
Ben Savage does?
No, Corey Feldman.
Oh, okay. Here's the confusion. Corey was the fictional name of the boy in Boy Meets World. He was not one of the two Coreys.
Which one keeps talking about Michael Jackson?
Feldman.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Okay. Corey Feldman.
We should do a segment 4 Michael Jackson haircuts. Never mind. Go ahead.
We got our first ever segment 4. Anytime we really need to have, we just feel like we need to have a whole segment about Michael Jackson based on whatever the theme is that week. Segment 4, Michael Jackson, 20 minutes.
Well, for consideration.
Just real quick, Corey Feldman does talk about Michael Jackson. Was not a fictional character in 90s sitcom Boy Meets World.
Okay.
Next up, the bowl cut. Popular in the 90s.
I think I might have had that. I think I might have had that.
I think everybody did. I think everybody did until 2 people had it. And I don't think nobody ever wanted to have it after that. Forrest Gump.
When did he have a bowl cut? What are you, crazy?
You wouldn't call that a bowl cut?
Forrest Gump.
Yeah. From the famous book, Forrest Gump 2.
I hated the movie about me.
I would call that a bowl cut.
I don't know, I guess.
Or it's like,
I haven't seen that movie in about 20 years.
It's movie dumb guy haircut.
Yeah, okay.
Forrest Gump had it. Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber had it. Yeah. Famously dumb.
Lloyd Christmas.
Yeah. Nicely done. I would say Sling Blade, Carl Childers? Is that his name in Sling Blade? I always call him Sling Blade, which is so stupid because that's not his name.
He probably gets down the street, hey, Mr. Sling Blade.
I'm positive he does.
Billy...
that's like, nobody wanted to have it after that because it was like, that's like a haircut for dumb people.
Somebody just nailed it. It was like, oh, it is dumb. Yeah. Yeah, let's stop.
Next up, the mullet. We already know. I found it weird that was on the list of 90s, but it was like a 90s mullet. It looked different than
You think so?
The one that we're thinking of.
There's 80s mullets. There's hockey mullets.
Sure.
What's up in mullet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
By the way, on mullets, the mullet is business in the front, party in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Is there, or could there ever be, a haircut that is party in the front, business in the back?
I mean, you could try walking backwards into a board meeting. See how that works out. Probably wouldn't do good. Wouldn't go over well. But that's the. Why would you want business in the back? Who are you trying to do business with that is behind you?
Maybe it's a cool, like, you're pitching your business idea, and they're not taking you seriously, and then you hit them with, like, a really good, like, and that's how it's going to make you $1 billion.
Turn around.
And they're like, oh.
He means business.
Did you see the back of his head?
He goes so well with his suit.
Do you know who, if they walked backwards into a business meeting, it would go well for them?
Who?
Michael Jackson.
Oh. Sold.
Next up, the Caesar, which is a short top, bangs pushed slightly down, short all the way around everywhere else. Next up, the short and messy, which I feel like is kind of what you're rocking.
That, yeah. That describes it.
Mm-hmm. Then we had one that was just called the heartthrob, and that was a picture of, not James Vanderbeek, who's the other one? Jason Priestley. He was the picture for that one. From just Jason Priestley's hair looking so good.
I'm just wondering what those guys have an other one status with each other in.
Oh, just they were like the hunks of the time.
Okay.
I don't know who was in what. One of them was in Beverly Hills 90210, and I think the other one was in Dawson's Creek, but I couldn't go further than that.
You pull up Hunkpedia.
If I do that, we'll never...
That's probably a real fucking site, by the way.
It probably is. Do you want to find out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hunkpedia.
So we had the heartthrob. We had blonde highlights.
That That's boy band right there.
Oh, yeah. We had one that was just called The Grunge, which for sure you and I both have had and basically will always have no matter what.
In spirit, it's there.
Then there was one that was just called Spiky.
Some 41 singer.
Then there was Afro. Then there was Frosted Tips, which of any of them was the one that I wondered, did Jay maybe ever have frosted tips?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, okay. I didn't think so.
I don't think I'll ever dye my hair.
There is no Hunkpedia.
Really?
But somebody does have it on Twitter, and also there's a Tumblr called it.
Well, I'm going to buy that domain, make some big cash.
Get on it. And maybe there's a section where there's t-shirts for sale on it. Then there was the male perm. Think of your early days Justin Timberlake.
What about Phil Spector?
Yeah, that
a real heartthrob.
That 90s hunk. Then there was flipped ends, which just looked crazy. Yeah, well, but everywhere, like Motley Crue-ish almost.
No, what's his guy with the fucked up nose? He goes, wow.
Owen Wilson?
Yeah.
That was a perfect spot-on impression, but I'm no, he didn't ever have that. I don't think. Okay. I don't think. Well, I could be wrong.
Sue me.
And then the final 90s one was slicked back. And that one, amongst these pictures of like Jason Priestley and George Clooney and all these, that one was Christopher Walken was the picture.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's still doing that.
He is. I wouldn't call him a 90s trendsetter, though.
You don't think so?
We'll just go through the 2000s real quick.
Sure.
The Shag. You had it.
Yeah.
The Faux Hawk.
Wait, that's the one where it's like regular, but it's like...
It's like if your hair was exactly the way it is now, except the sides were different.
I want to shoot everybody that has that haircut in the face.
Well, you're going to have to get a time machine.
No, they're around.
Next up.
I mean, not that I'm...
The main one I wondered about you, and I think the answer is no, but I did have to stop and wonder. The emo. Yes. You see?
No, I didn't. I never did.
I knew you'd instantly know what it was.
Well, yeah.
You never went full on.
No. Again, that requires styling of at least a certain level, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So... Yeah. I'd just rather not wake up that day if I had to put anything in my hair and like actually spend time like trying to do that. Not that I'm being vain about not being vain. I'm not doing that. And I'm not being vain about not doing that.
You're not being vain about not being vain.
Yeah, I'm vain, but I'm not. Okay?
Yeah. Next up on the list, and I found this one kind of weird.
Wait, I'm not vain.
You're being not. Oh, hell yeah. The bald head. It was like 2000s didn't invent that.
Disturbed, right? That's probably what popularized it.
Well, the picture again, Bruce Willis.
Good pop quiz for you. First movie that he was in.
That Bruce Willis was in?
Completely bald, no hair.
Oh.
Completely bald, no hair. And I don't know this. I don't even know this.
Oh. Well, then I'll say Unbreakable.
I mean, you still have to be right. It doesn't matter if I know it or not. It's right or wrong.
Okay.
Can't be so haphazard about it.
I got no clue, man.
Yeah, me neither.
I'll just to throw an answer out, and maybe we'll come back and find this out in the next episode, I suppose. I will say it definitely isn't Unbreakable. That was the sequel, or it came after The Sixth Sense, and he was bald in that.
Wait, he was bald in The Sixth Sense?
Yeah, and also he was something else too, but I'm not going to tell you. I'll give you a hint.
What?
He's
metrosexual.
Next up, the textured cut. I don't know. Next up, design. People started drawing a garden maze in their heads. Then there was the modern mullet.
Sean William Scott.
Yeah. Then we had the mohawk is on the list. Evidently that made a comeback. And then the classic taper, which is kind of like
still
the undercut that I have now. Kind of.
Okay.
So, in a sense, I'm rocking a version of the classic taper tonight.
Okay.
And you are rocking a version of the short and messy tonight. So we are just a couple of teen beat bad boys over here.
Yeah.
And guess what else? We'll be right back. Metaphiles 3, Segment 3. Hello. It is unfortunate that there is already a talk show that has a skeleton sidekick. 'Cause that means this guy can never become the Rust Pole.
He's just a cheap imitation. Just
Yeah.
a cheap knockoff.
Yeah,
What an idiot.
poor guy. Sad. Wish there was something nice we could do for him. What do you got?
Alright, let's give him some hair.
Okay. Oh.
Does that look good? Yes. Perfect.
A little bit of a 90s curtain effect.
It's the heartthrob, probably.
Could be. It's getting me going. I'm ready to go to a football game. Sit in that crowd. Jay, while we were on break, I went ahead and looked up the Sixth Sense on IMDb Parents Guide. Because
Of course.
it wouldn't be an episode of Metaphiles to me without it.
It's a whole segment.
And it has 3 entries that I like. So let's read them real quick. A parentheses married man and woman kiss and walk to the bedroom, but nothing happens.
Like parentheses, married.
Yeah. But I get when they seem a little disappointed, like, but nothing happens. A man is wearing only his underwear in one scene. And finally, a husband watches his nude wife in the shower through a foggy glass shower door. Nothing can be seen, although she is very clearly naked. Scene lasts about 6 to 7 seconds, but there's 2 C's in the word seconds. So clearly when they were typing, they were like 6 to 7 seconds. And that's the IMDb Parents Guide for this week. Now, speaking of Bruce Willis, famous full bald, but not always. I've been watching Cheers lately, and I found in that and in general, I bet you could say that probably the same thing is true in Seinfeld or in movies of the era.
Shows.
Well, no, shows or movies of the era.
Oh, gotcha.
That I feel like, because we're talking haircuts, but we're leaving out an important segment of the population, the balding. I mean, certainly, George Costanza.
Yeah.
I feel like back then, there were a lot more balding people on TV and in movies. Gene Hackman, again, like a bona fide leading man, balding. Now we've got Larry David, of course, but other than that, are there less balding people? Because I don't see it. Or is Hollywood just sweeping it under the rug, not to pay?
Neither. I have a third answer.
Please.
Possibility.
Please.
They all just shave it. That's what everybody does. Back then, a la George Costanza, they would just, kind of grow it out, let it just rock it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And these days they're like, oh, I gotta look like The Rock. Shave. Balding. Not that he's balding. Lawsuit.
Uh-oh. If The Rock...
We didn't say it yet.
If The Rock, in his wrestling prime, had a comb over, would he be the movie star The Rock that we know today? In a way that, like, makes him even fucking cooler.
If he would have had a comb over.
Yeah, and he's still just whooping ass.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe people liked Mankind
Yeah, he was kind of.
He was like slobby.
Yeah, he was a fucking.
His
slob.
persona. Yeah. Boo, slobby, boo.
But you're right, though, Jay. You asked and answered, and it kind of goes back to in my list of 2000s haircut, the bald head. You're right, and I bet Bruce Willis is probably you could point to him as the main pioneer
initiated
of this. That it just lop it all off.
Yeah.
You think Jason Alexander can do it and be in Fast and the Furious 13?
Maybe it'd look weird if he did it. Maybe because he's a guy with all his hair all the time.
He's a guy with his hair all the time.
Well, I mean, he wears it long. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
If he shaves his head, maybe he'd have like this really weird, like super small head or something. People be like, that just
and he
looks
could start
weird.
playing like drug dealers and shit. It'd be cool.
I mean, I would have to watch it.
Do you like Jason Alexander in other stuff other than Seinfeld?
Wait a second. I was talking about Jason Mimosa.
Jason Mimosa. It's Momoa.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I switched over to him. No, I don't know why I switched over to him, but I did.
Oh, now your statement of he is always with all his hair all the time. Now that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Jason Momoa, I switched over to him. I don't know why.
Could he have been George Costanza?
No, definitely not. Wouldn't have worked.
Give me a setup line as any of the other three characters, and I'll be Jason Momoa as George.
Okay. George, what's up? You're in my apartment again.
Yeah, I stopped having sex, and now I'm so much smarter. I did the entire New York Times Sunday crossword puzzle in ink.
That's your bet in ink. That's your best Jason Momoa?
Yeah, I didn't remember.
I don't even know.
I don't even really remember what he sounds like. He's like one of those,
I'm like this guy.
I got the impression that it wouldn't work.
Yeah. Not great comedic timing.
Well, no, just Jason Momoa as George.
But he looks the same. Wireframe, circular glasses, comb over, but he's this big. He's twice as big as everybody else in the cast. But he's still a nebbish and neurotic and yeah.
I would have to see it. I think it would be great because I don't know. I watch so much Seinfeld.
Yeah.
So I should be the expert.
Who do you think knows more about the show Seinfeld right now? You.
Or Jerry Seinfeld?
Well, I was going to say, or Larry David. Because he's a guy who I feel like probably he kind of like forgot it all, you know? He's like, I don't care. I don't care anymore. That's whatever. I bet you could beat Larry David in a Seinfeld trivia contest.
I don't think so.
And then you star in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Do you think that either of those shows would be as good if Larry David never balded?
If the haircuts were different. Haircuts. Why haircuts? Is that what you're asking?
No,
if he had never been going bald, would he have been as good at writing comedy?
Yeah.
My answer is no. I don't think he would have.
Okay.
I think that added to his whole mental shit that led to him being able to write comedy.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at, yeah.
Yeah. And are our haircuts this episode causing this episode to be arguably our best one, or arguably our worst one, or arguably kind of just who cares?
So we're just feeling fresh? Is what you're saying? We're just feeling fresh because of our haircuts?
Yeah, we're bringing a lot of sex appeal to this episode, but are we bringing the
Twice
fun?
as much at least.
Mm-hmm. But are we bringing as much funny?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Are we Samson style? There's a great haircut story. Was our...
Let me get the Samson after he lost his strength. Okay. Buzz it.
You be Samson after the haircut.
Okay.
Hey, Samson, what are you doing in my apartment?
Hey, can you open this jar of pickles For me, I want to make a Donald Duck sandwich with all the vegetables, but I can't open this jar of pickles. I don't know why.
You can't open your own jar of pickles anymore.
You're Samson!
You're the strongest guy I know.
Real funny. Samson as George Costanza, much funnier.
On the idea of which things would you lose? We're gonna zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out.
When in doubt, zoom
When in
out.
doubt, doom out. Let's talk about cutting hair of the head other than on top. And I'm gonna go. Of these three, you have to keep 2. And they're long. They're long and unruly, okay?
Okay.
Ear hair, nose hair, eyebrows. You either got big old Martin Scorsese's up here, or you got, boom, Brillo pads sticking out on either side, or you got a little...
I can only get rid of one of them?
Yeah, you got to keep 2.
Oh, boy.
I have my answer. But I'm very curious what yours would be. Because whenever I ask you questions like this, your answer tends to surprise me.
I would get rid of ear hair because that's the hardest to trim.
See? Not what I would have expected.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going to have to trim all of them.
No.
Apparently.
You are not allowed.
No, one of them.
Yeah. Oh, no,
I'm saying if I could get rid of one of them.
You get rid of one completely, the other 2 get to roam free.
I know. The other 2 would be my eyebrows and my nose hair. They'd be easier to trim.
You are not allowed to trim them.
No, wait. I would... This is like Abbott and Costello right now. I would get rid of the ear hair because it's the hardest to trim.
Okay.
That's the one I would get rid of.
Because you like a challenge. Who's on first?
Yeah.
Is that why? Because you like a challenge? You would get rid of the one that would be the hardest to get rid of, but why?
So the 2 that were left that I had to deal with were easier to trim.
But you're not allowed to trim them.
Oh, that's right.
That's who's on first. That's what I'm asking you.
You're not allowed to trim the one.
No. 1 is gone. The other 2 you are not allowed to fuck with. They get to go wild.
That's terrible.
That's right. I don't know, son.
I would just go with the heartthrob.
You'd start styling whichever 2 are left.
The ear hair would be easier to style into the hair
That's
throb.
true, yeah. You get
Just make it flow.
kind of a Polly Walnuts thing. Kind of.
And then... I would... Yeah. That's so tough, dude. I guess I would get rid of the nose hair.
That is my answer, too. Because if you got the big old Scorsese's, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
And the ear hair, at least that's like symmetrical in kind of some weird way. But just like
The nose hair.
this, that's bad.
Yeah. Just never gonna work. You're not gonna style it. Why would you want, at a very basic level, why would you want a certain specific amount of hair at any time?
Aside from utilitarian.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
Only for fashion.
Yeah.
There is... Okay, even though we are not vain about being not vain about not being vain anymore...
Yeah.
Every other aspect of fashion you could at least somewhat justify. It's like, I like to wear this blazer, but on one level, I got pockets on it. Also keeps my arms cold. You know, you could justify it.
Yeah.
Hair fashion, short of it keeping you warm. Everyone should just have long hair and as long of a beard as they're capable of growing because it keeps your head warm.
Yeah.
But we don't. We stylize, we fashion, we cut. Why haircut?
We have shelter from the elements. We don't need the warmth. So we can do bowl cuts.
Yeah.
Luckily now, we can do bowl cuts.
Yeah, we as the human being have achieved such dominance over the elements and the beasts that we can have bowl cuts. Until Lloyd Christmas came along and ruined it.
They just look like idiots. Why haircut?
Yeah. Purely aesthetic. What are other things that human beings do that are purely aesthetic? Art, podcasts.
Podcasts. I was thinking like painting on cave walls.
Yeah.
Millions of years ago.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Yeah, that even back then was just like, it looks cool, right? Or was it like to summon the buffalo?
Who knows?
Wish we had that time
Nobody
machine
knows.
so that you could go and kill all the people with faux hawks and then we could go back.
Let me make a quick stop.
Yeah.
About 2000,
Yeah.
2003.
Yeah, we'll go
Draw me off
2000
right at the
BC, but first 2000
first.
AD.
Bowl cut. Wait. Faux hawks. So stupid. It's just such a stupid idea.
The faux hawk.
Yeah.
Because it's non-committal.
And it just looks dumb. Just looks stupid. Unlike this guy.
Yeah, he looks great. Could he look even better, I wonder?
Well, it's hard to say.
Can I have that one? Oh,
You want
I do.
it? Oh, shit.
And this is crazy. I'm getting a haircut mid-episode.
Big improvement.
Here I go to the barber shop downstairs.
Bzzz. Bzzz. Wow.
How's it look?
Elizabethan a bit, I would say. Big forehead
Cost me
kind of deal.
$20. He looks great now. I look great. You look great. Haircuts. This haircut, for one Halloween I wore this and then I wore a wig over it. You could tell, you could see all three layers. It was my real hair, you could see, then you could see this wig, and then you could see a third wig, but you could also see this one.
Okay.
And my costume was, it's not a wig. And everybody that I met, I said, it's not a wig. I was like, hey, I'm Zach, it's not a wig. I did that all night. Nobody liked it.
I wouldn't like it either.
I liked it. I had a lot of fun that night.
That's hilarious. Most people sound like a bunch of squares
Yeah.
to me. Yeah, I don't know, man. Why haircut?
Why haircut? Will we ever know? What will haircuts be in the future, Jay? We have reached a point, I would say, in 2022 where the haircut has become so completely individual. How could it get even more so? Or will it go the other way, where like in movies from the 50s, where there's like a race of future people, they all have the same haircut?
Yeah.
Are we heading there, do you think?
Well, the whole idea behind that in those old movies was that they're so intellectually advanced
Yes, utilitarian.
that they would be like, why would I want a certain amount of hair on my head? Why don't I just cut it the optimal length for utilitarian scientific purposes?
Yeah, to work in the brain factory.
The brain, yeah. You don't want hairs in your brains.
So
hair nets.
You don't want hair in your brains.
T-shirt.
Yep.
I think that puts us in the black. I think.
In the black. So
Perfect.
what we learn here at the tail end of this episode 3 of Metaphiles is that all of these future societies where all the haircuts are the same are run by you, Mr. Utilitarian Haircut.
Yeah.
President of haircuts.
Wow. With great power comes great responsibility.
The blue streak.
Wow. They're all counting on me.
Do you want to make a speech as future leader of Haircuts of Earth?
Just cut your hair normal. Just cut your hair to normal length like I have.
I love you, Chang.
It's utilitarian.
All the people who laughed at your haircut are dead.
Thank you. Boo.
But I'm the hero of the movie, and I think that haircut's bloody awful. We should all have faux hawks. The resistance, it'll never be turned down. At least I die with me haircut being free.
I decree to cut his hair off.
No, you'll make me
Cut his faux hawk.
You'll only make me a martyr. In it.
Hair.
The musical.
Hair on ice.
It's the dawning of the age of Aquarius. That's from Hair, right? I think it is. I don't know.
I think we covered everything.
I think we've covered everything, but the timer says differently. So we got to keep going.
No way.
Yeah, for 7 more seconds.
I have a novella. Go to denovo.press.
It's not time for plugs yet.
I was trying to get it in.
Now it's time for plugs. Hair plugs. Come on.
That's 2 in one episode. Great job.
2 for me, 1 for you. I win the episode.
Whatever.
Tell them about The Stray, Jason Ford.
I don't feel like it.
I'll tell him. My cohort created a novella.
Co-host.
Compatriot. Created a novella. It's called The Stray. You can find it at denovo.press or in the YouTube description right down there. It is a book exclusively about haircuts.
Through the eons.
Yeah, weird that it didn't come up more in our first.
I just like people going in cold. You know?
I shouldn't have maybe
Going
not have
cold
said
to
it.
Spoiling. No, it's fine.
Yeah, I love that end where the main character gets that haircut. That I won't say.
Okay.
Well, hey, come on. Tit for tat here.
Well, my co-host Zac has a EP. He is the ape from space. Chop Chop Chang. So go to Chop Chop Chang Bandcamp.
That's right.
Check it out. New Era Arcana. Check it out.
Yeah. Since it is probably the only appearance of our friend here,
Yeah.
should he get to do the sign-off? Do we want to do the same sign-off?
Yeah.
Okay. At a certain point, it's going to become so clear that our episodes don't suck that we can't do the sign-off anymore in good conscience. But I don't know if it's true this week.
Me neither.
Yeah. So let's let him say it. And you know what? Before we do, let's give him a haircut, because the fact of the matter is, folks at home, no matter what your haircut is, we like it.
Yes.
Snip, 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 snip. You're free. Say the line, pal. You want me to say it, or do you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Maybe this episode sucked, but maybe the next one won't.
Metaphiles.